guys, the Super Review Show here for another My Thoughts on Video. Today's My Thoughts on Video is about the Twilight Zone series. And I'm not talking about the movies, I'm not talking about the new run of it, I'm talking about the original 1950s and 60s 5-season run of the Twilight Zone back then. Basically, this is just my overall thoughts on the show, how it influenced other major motion pictures and TV shows, other directors, actors. We're going to get into all that right now. So the first thing I want to mention is that The Twilight Zone is one of my favorite television shows ever. Because it broke so many different... It was a groundbreaking show on so many levels. Everything from how the story... Everything from the story to the characters, the simplicity of everything, to the horror elements of some episodes. How it really... Certain episodes made you think. Really like, wow, am I really interpreting life like this, or can it go like that, or what? You know, it's a brilliant show. If you have not seen, let me just say that right now, if you have not seen any of the original Twilight Zone episodes, some of them are the most famous episodes of television ever. And I highly recommend you check out like the first season or two. Just watch the first season and you'll be hooked for the rest of the show. So, but you can obviously jump around to episodes like To Serve Man or To Living Doll. I'll get to those two episodes in a second. But yeah, bottom line, this show is fantastic. And Rod Serling, basically, to my understanding is, Rod Serling, the creator of The Twilight Zone, kind of like took 40s and 50s books or novels or like novelizations of short stories and basically adapted them to screenplays, which later became the whole first season and majority of the second season and some of the third season of the Twilight Zone. And it took so many of these like short science fiction or horror novels and just made them into this TV show and launched the 5 seasons we have into the franchise that we have now, whether it be the graphic novels, the comic books, movies, whatever. Even the new run of CBS on CBS All Access. I just mentioned 2 key episodes. To Serve Man is a frightening episode. I always go back to this episode sometimes because I rewatch it every once in a while, and I'm like, holy crap, this is really amazing stuff. And I'm not going to spoil anything of the actual episode, but I want, if you have Netflix, which let's face it, a majority of people have Netflix nowadays, go on Netflix, watch that episode of Twilight Zone. I think it's in the 3rd season. I might be wrong about that. Watch the episode. It's called To Serve Man, and it's a brilliant, brilliant episode, and it influenced so many other things, like the television show V from ABC, or the 80s version of V, where, if you know what I'm talking about, you haven't seen the original episode, you'll understand why and where they got it from. It's a brilliant episode of this serialized show. I'll get to anthology stuff in a second, but the other episode I mentioned was The Living Doll. The Living Doll episode is one of the most talked about TV episodes in the history of television shows ever. Just as much as Star Trek, just as much as, Dallas. It's a very highly talked about episode. So, without going into too much detail, the episode's about this little girl who just got a little doll, and the mom and her mom bought her the doll, and there's the stepdad in the picture. The stepdad's not too happy with the girl getting the doll, and then the doll starts. It was a pull string, kind of like Woody in Toy Story. It's like, my name is Talking Tina, and I love you very much, whatever, right? Kind of this innocence, thing. Then later on in the episode, when the mom and the daughter go away, that's the brilliance of the Twilight Zone. When the mom and the daughter leave the room or whatever, it's like, my name is Talking Tina and I don't like you. And then towards the end of the episode, it's like, my name's Talking Tina and I'm going to kill you. Like, it's so... I'm getting chills. I'm not kidding you. I have chills up and down my spine thinking about it. It's a brilliant episode as well. Watch that episode as well. I think it's the 4th or 5th season they had. Now, one of the key things about Twilight Zone back in the day was that they had so many that there was no overlying arc, if you will. Like, there was no, like, basically you could tune in every week and have a completely different story. That was part of the genius of it. The closest, like, it's kind of like an anthology show or an anthology series. It's not like where, like, there's a whole season that ties together and all these episodes kind of go online with each other, and then like the Like, the closest thing we have to it nowadays is American Horror Story, where like each season of the show is focused on an individual story. Like the first season of American Horror Story, it is one story, and then the next season is another story, and then the next season is another. So basically, Twilight Zone is that, but it's every episode. Now, mind you, are all the episodes great? Some of them have dated. Some of them are definitely of the time. But a lot of these episodes of Twilight Zone hold up, and they still stand the test of time today. The one that keeps popping up in my head right now, it happens to be the episode where there's 5 characters in search of an exit. I think all of you hardcore sci-fi nerds will know what I'm talking about. I'll give this one away. I'm not going to hide it, but it's a brilliant episode. It's these 5 different characters: a doll, not a doll, like a model, a soldier, a clown, and I think a hobo, and I think I forget the last one. But anyways, these characters are all like stuck in this little like thing, right? And they try and exit out of it, and it's freezing and it's loud. Like, what is this place? Turns out they are toys alive, and they're inside of this bin, this garbage disposal or donation bin during the holiday Christmas season, and these toys are in search of an exit. The Twilight Zone episodes are so simple, but yet they make you think. They make you really think, wow, man, wow. Like, they really make you take back and just, it's a great show to kind of, if you really want to get into like some really good television, just definitely go down and enjoy that, because that show is fantastic. Overall, though, what are your thoughts on the Twilight Zone? Please jump down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you have any memorable episodes, any other thoughts on the show, please jump down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my thoughts. But for all of my thoughts on videos, keep it locked on the Super Review Show, the J-Man. After work, we'll see you.